Busted.
Hello out there, thanks for joining us on Political Platform. We are continuing with our holidays today in Nigeria and still in the mood of the festivities. We want to thank you for joining us on Political Platform. Magnus Abe, a senator, won yesterday against Olaka Wogu at the National and State Assembly Elections Tribunal, which sits in Abuja. And that is one step to retaining and sustaining and remaining on seat. If Wogu appeal, then the battle would shift to that place. But the senator smiled home yesterday after the tribunal said he was validly elected. And the call for restructuring, the former military president Ibrahim Babangida says the time is now. As the former Senate president and current senator from Benue State, David Mark, says justice, equity, and the rule of law must prevail in Nigeria. And we're continuing with our zeroing in on the Malabu oil deal of over $1 billion. And we have a guest in the house who we promised you yesterday who was searching for to throw more light on the twists and the turns of events as we examine also some of the issues pertaining to the deals allegedly undertaken by those we entrusted with power. And what we have at the end of the day is the Halliburton, the Siemens, and the Malabu, all of them point in the direction of former heads of governments in Nigeria and ministers. But we will be examining the side of Mohammed Adoke, a former minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, who has a suit pending in court. We will not be dealing with the matters in court, but we'll just be dealing with the facts on ground as we have gotten the other sides for you before. My name is Okiri Akmonsurimi. I have a full house. I have Dr. Amisha Nakwe in the house.
Hello, Hiria, and welcome our guests and listeners. Of course, the issue of restructuring is one that is almost becoming a consensus now. In the days to come, I see more Nigerians speaking up for restructuring because it's so obvious that Nigeria is not working optimally. If not, it's not working at up to 40%. Considering our potentials, we need to look at the structure. Just like the former military president said, it may not solve all the problems, but it will indeed provide the groundwork for it.
I think there's already a consensus. I don't. Everybody seems to agree. I think it is how to go about it, what to do.
The specific steps to take in
specific steps to be taken. Nobody is talking. Some people talk true federalism. Some say no, let us devolve to the old region. Some say leave the states the way they are, but devolve powers. Everybody seems to agree that there's need to flog up this Nigerian we call the elephant that is sitting on the ground that is not moving. And we need to talk about it. And this morning we also be giving you a clip of the controversial. Will you say controversial? Yes, because many people are beginning to ask questions. Our president, who is taking care of his ill health in London, spoke to the BBC Hausa service, and that clip, so many people are saying he spoke to Nigerians. Why did he speak Hausa? And my first reaction was the channel which he spoke was BBC, and it is Hausa service of the BBC. So the handlers handled him well. Was he well handled? But we'll give you that clip this morning. And somebody has also written to us that the voice he heard is a disheartening one that it does not make him happy. It doesn't send any good. It doesn't lift the spirit of Nigerians because it's the voice indeed of somebody who is sick. Mustafa Mohammed is right here with me in the studios.
Thank you, Okiria. Restructuring, are we going to agree that the military design of the current Nigeria is very wrong? Then are we going back to the kind of system we had in the First Republic? Luckily, the constitutional amendment process are still going on.
Yeah.
Can Nigerians take the advantage of this constitutional amendment using the National Assembly members instead of making a lot of noise shouting in the media? The constitutional amendment can actually take care of most of these problems, and Nigerians don't actually need this 36
and
states.
unfortunately, we have the 2014 conference report that they can also pick from. If not all of them, certain things that can do well. We also have Ijomo Salmon. Welcome to the program.
Okay, Ria, I want to say if we have a country that gained independence over 50 years ago, it is necessary for us to look into what the problem is. Let us look at Nigeria now. If it's not working, every sane country, I'm not saying Nigeria is not sane, it's a perfect country. But in other climes, they look at their structure, they look at the economy, they look at the political structure. If it's not working well for them, they
redesign.
Yeah, so like you said, let them consider some portion of the 2014 National Conference. Let the National Assembly has already called for it. Let them go deep into it and look at what was decided there, because you had every members of the regions of Nigeria, even if some of them said they are not agreeing or they closed their eyes or they stood before at a gunpoint to agree to sign the report. It's still a report. If they want to change it, they need to sit down and meet together and fashion out how they will change that report.
Uju Eje is right in here. Uju, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ohiria.
Now let's go to our mailbox, politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Thanks, Ohiria. Welcome to the mail segment. I'm Amaka Okoro.
I'm Saiti Nyeri, welcome.
We'll begin with a mail from Henry Irekono from Kubo in Abuja, and he's reacting to President Muhammadu Buhari's audio voice. The mail reads, the audio was an affirmation that the Nigerian leader is indeed suffering from a speech impairment, which has arisen as a side effect of some deeper, undisclosed ailment. It wasn't a voice to lift the spirit of the Muslim faithful who have just broken their fast. It wasn't a voice to lift a nation in the thirst of an economic recession either. To listen to that audio was to share in the pains of a man who has probably become the latest hostage of a power cabal, a cabal keeping him in power because they stand to lose everything if their benefactor could just resign on account of his ailment. And why would a president who hasn't been heard from in such a long time choose to break his silence to his people in Hausa, a language spoken by just a section of the country? The audio was an affirmation that we haven't learned anything since the Yar'Adua stunt of 2010.
Away from that, Nnamdi Pape Abuja says, I don't know whether to cry or laugh as I listen to all the brouhaha about our new secondary school curricula. Can you imagine some individuals who are supposed to be charting the way forward for our education are busy trying to pitch one religion against the other? People in other climes are talking about STEM education with emphasis on this tech-driven platform for development. And in Nigeria, we are killing ourselves and expending so much energy over religion. What a shame. Religion will not give us electricity. Religion will not create employment. Religion, as we see in Nigeria, divides us more than ever. Please, let's channel our energy and resources to science, technology, engineering and mathematics to fire our national development. Let's stop killing ourselves over religion. Religion did not take the advanced world to where it is today.
And Paul James in Abuja titles this one as War of Words between Fashola and the National Assembly. He goes further. The Cold War between Fashola and the National Assembly is one that must be urgently stopped so that we can move forward. Accusations and counter-accusations is not what we need now in a critical sector like the Power, Works and Housing Ministry. I urge the Presidency and the National Assembly leadership to quickly intervene and resolve all grey areas now.
Endurance in Abuja says, the platform which is showing on AIT now makes me not miss the program again. If I have not chance to listen to it on Repower, I watch it on AIT Abuja. You guys are doing a great job towards nation building.
And this is where we draw the curtains on today's mail segment. Do keep sending your mails to us. The route to reach us is political platform at yahoo.com.
Busted! They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much. Now, let's quickly give you a background to the Nigerian Basic Education Curriculum, which we promised we're going to take a look at. But unfortunately, our guests that we need to examine all of them, we are still unable to reach him. But we promise that as soon as possible, we'll get those in the ministry when the holidays are over, those in the Ministry of Education to respond to it. But let me just quickly tell you the 10 subjects that we have. English studies, that's number 1. Number 2, mathematics. Number 3, basic science and technology. Number 4, religion and national values. Number 5, cultural and creative arts. 6, business studies. 7, Nigerian languages. 8, pre-vocational studies. 9, French. And 10, Arabic. I think the problem here is the merger of the civic and other studies with religion under national and under religion and national values that we have, the civic studies that we talk about. And this subject now incorporates the study of religion in it. But the argument is that number 10, which is Arabic, is a cover for the study of Islam. And those who argue against it say it is not correct. It's just also like saying English studies is a cover for Christianity. And that Arabic is a language and that it is not a religion, although the Quran is written in Arabic, same way English is used in writing the Bible. And that it is not a cover, and that both Christian and Islam studies are embedded in religion and national values, and that you have a pick if you have to choose which subjects to, which courses to take. If it is Christian or Islam, you take. But the argument is on whether the Arabic studies, according to the proponents, particularly the Christian Association of Nigeria, that what we have is burying Christian religious studies, not giving it its own subject, just studies, and giving it a cover of Arabic. Now, all these things we need to explain all of them, and we cannot do the explanation without getting the minds of those who are indeed, who formulated them. But we can also still tell you that this curriculum came out from a long process, which actually started during the Jonathan administration, we are told, when the education, this part of education was under the leadership of, under the headship of the
Wiki and Professor Rupaya.
Yeah, the current governor of Rivers State. And that it is not something that just jumped down as an APC agenda, as people want to say. In the last time, we told you that from our own personal study, and we still remain there, I still remain in that place, that we are making a lot of noise over nothing. And that if you ask me, I will tell you that we should remove both Christian and Islamic religion from, we should not use to bother our children.
I'm bringing entrepreneurial
studies and let these religions be studied in our homes, in our church, in our mosque, and allow our children to study unfettered, like what other countries have done. Yes. You don't have to bother our children and pump ideas of religion into them when they should be studying how to be good.
Is this thing about restructuring? As long as Abuja determines the education curriculum in Karanamoda, in Brass, in somewhere in Abakaliki, there is bound to be some suspicions, even when they are unfounded. But if you allow the component states to design their own, you do your own the way you like, the way it suits you, and I do mine the way I like it. So these issues will not come up. It again points to the fact that concentrating power in Abuja is injurious. Even when it's met with all intentions, it will be misinterpreted. We tend to do religion more than the countries that founded it. In Nigeria today, we are more religious than Israel. In Nigeria today, we are more religious than even the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia that holds the holy cities. We do it much more than we are supposed to do it.
Somebody said we are a godless country, but religious.
At the time we pretend we are so religious, immorality, humanity is going down. At the time you're seeing most churches in every street corner, every nook and cranny of the country. Why is it so? we appear to be religious while morality, humanity is going down. We need to ask ourselves this question. We're a secular state. If need be, we throw away those religious-based subjects out of our curricula and do what we need.
Well, let me introduce my guest, Majid Dairu Sefabila Face, to those who watch our current affairs program on TV. He's joining us this morning. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I will first of all just tell you are a Muslim.
Yes.
And that's good. So do we need to have our children bordered by, at this level, basic education bordered by religion? Some say we should instill religion discipline in them, and that it is the absence of this religious discipline that is not instilled in the children that is causing the problems we have. Do you agree?
No, I do not actually agree, because we have placed more premium in this country on religion and less on faith. Yes. It is the aspect of faith that gives us the godliness. It's a thing of the mind, a thing of the heart. Where you are not saying nobody sees you yet, you obey your God in goodness to both mankind and in service to God. But religion is an organized and soluted interpretation of faith, which is more surface, more ephemeral than spiritual.
It's not deep.
It's not deep. It's not deep at all. And for the purpose of our diversity, our secularity as a state, I would also think that matters of faith should be left at personal level and should be removed from the curriculum completely. I'm in support of that. Both Christian and Islamic studies should be left at the faith-based institutions, churches, mosques, madrasas. I think we have had enough of that, and at home too. Yes. But what should be taught in our institutions are national unity, Nigeria, the Nigerian religion, which is our constitution, our national ethics, patriotism, is what for me should be.
Which should come under civic.
Under civic, that should be what should be obtained.
I tend to disagree with some of the submissions you've made, because I believe that you don't push God out of a nation. I strongly believe that, yes, we have misapplied religion, but again, it's just a matter of finding a balance. If you look at the countries that we tend to want to copy, that we're suggesting that they removed religion from, religious studies from the school, how are their youths faring? Some of the ills, the dangers in our society today among youths are imported from those countries, because by the time you remove God from the curriculum, from the school curriculum, you find that children imbibe all kinds of immorality. Religion, is meant to help the youths at an early age, or children, and even before they become youths, to imbibe godliness. Now, the way you teach that godliness is what will make the difference. And the examples that we show, if you look at some of the greatest people that we have in this country today, they pass through missionary schools, whether Christian, Ansaruddin, Ahmadiyya, and Wahid Islam, they pass through missionary schools. The fear of God that was inculcated in them at that stage was what made them to stand out, and is what has made them who they are today. I think that maybe we should modify the teaching of the faiths in school, but we shouldn't take it out, because it's very, very important.
Politicizing the religion by the elite is actually the problem, not even having the religious education embedded in the curricular system. Since the inception of this country, the issue of religion has always been, a flag at the top. Said, why is it that Muslims have ruled Nigeria more than Christians? And then you discover, when you travel around the Muslim states in the country, they are the most poorest.
Yeah, you ask, where are we interpreting religion to the political power?
Then we invest billions of naira sponsoring people to Mecca, yet our people at home are very hungry. And of course, the poor people should not be paid for to go to Mecca, because going to Mecca is only compulsory on those who, can afford it. And let me tell you...
And the Christians, because the Muslims were going to Mecca,
they started
to say we have to sponsor people to Jerusalem. It's the only country in the world. The only country in the world
that compete, because Muslims are doing it. And let me also tell you something about these Arabic studies that people are, trying to make an issue. Arabic is a language like French and English. It doesn't
Spanish,
make you a Muslim
German.
because you study Arabic, or you are, and in Kuwait and Egypt, my friends actually invited me to the Catholic churches. I was given Bibles written in Arabic. The Reverend Fathers were kind of shocked to discover that I speak Arabic fluently like they do.
Okiria, I would like to bring back the words of Professor Wole Soyinka. I think Nigeria believes that, we have that belief that we already have independence, but frankly speaking, we don't have, because the white men came into and brought these religions to Nigeria and to Africa, and they started teaching them. So Wole Soyinka said, when we were not with the white man's religion, we had peace. We learned, we were living together. High morality. That's what Professor Wole Soyinka said. And today that the white man's religion is not taking precedent over everything, we have challenges.
But did Wole Soyinka himself not benefit from the white man's education?
All right.
And then again, now here at point of correction, the language of the Bible, the original language is Hebrew and Aramaic, not English.
Not English, okay. But many people in Nigeria today read the Bible
translated
into English. They don't read it. Many people in Nigeria, most people in Nigeria, I know that you are an Igbo woman, you speak Igbo, you are married to somebody, a man in Delta, and that you read the Bible in English language, don't you?
I do.
So that's what we are talking about.
But when you're talking about original language, that's
the point
I'm trying to make.
Okay, we note that. Let's take a break. When we come back, we go to the Malabu oil deal.
Busted. They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you very much. You can even see that there's no consensus in the studio here as to how to define religion. Now, even our traditional religion has a morality.
Higher morality.
Yes.
Higher morality.
What abomination.
We are talking of high morality, and it is not this one that we are politicizing in the curriculum, and it doesn't give any. It can be taught. I learned catechism in the Catholic Church in the early time in the Catholic Church. It didn't require me to go. I attended the Muslim and Ahmadiyya secondary school, and the fact that I attended Ahmadiyya secondary school did not make me miss what the morality that the Muslims also have. The fact is that we are politicizing the whole thing and making it, and everybody is dancing to this tune and making it look as if we do not have a Christian or Islamic religious studies in our curriculum, the whole country will boil down. Meanwhile, poverty is ravaging everywhere.
Nobody is talking about
those who are worshiping.
68% of Nigerians are living in abject poverty.
You go to the north, 10 million children are on the streets, and they are with the Quran being pumped into their head. They are not getting any education. They are not getting any upliftment, and we are seeing all of them. Those who were Almajiri 20 years ago, they are the ones who are the Malams pushing cars all over the country that should have a soul, a conscience that will be able to take care of the people.
Okay, now, I don't think it's religion. I think it's the failure of our leaders.
Okay, let's go to the Malabu oil deal now, and we have over $1 billion at stake. It is said that some government officials helped themselves and through some deals, and the president then endorsed it. That's the allegation. Well, Majid Dahiru has been doing the study. Give us a background to this.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start by correcting a very widespread misconception out there about the amount of money in question that's involved. 1.3 billion naira involved, $1.3 billion that was involved was not Nigeria's money.
Okay.
It wasn't federal government's money. It wasn't taken from the federation account. That money was paid by Shell and ENI to Malabu as part of the resolution out of the negotiated settlement.
Now, Malabu is a company.
It's a company that was awarded the OPL 245 in 1998 by the Abacha military regime. And by 2001, the Abacha regime actually revoked the oil block from Malabu. Malabu first petitioned the House of Representatives, and after public hearing, the House of Representatives resolved that the oil block should be returned to Malabu.
Yes.
After which they went to court. But before the court could give a definite judgment, the federal government under President Olusegun Obasanjo asked for act of court settlement, and there was a resolution to return the oil block completely
to Malabu.
It was signed and sealed by Obasanjo and his then Minister of State for Petroleum, Edmond Akuru, as far back as 2006. But the agreement was not given life to until administration term expired, Yar'Adua came on board and attempted to actually implement. Now, because the oil block has already been reallocated to Shell between 2001 and when this agreement was reached in 2006, Shell also went to International Court of Arbitration to say no, they own the oil block now, and they are claiming about $2 billion as damages against the federal government of Nigeria.
Since they already had legitimacy over this block.
So, but there was no need to bring all parties on the table. And Yar'Adua actually started the resolution agreement terms, where Shell offered $550 million to Malabu in the first instance, while allowing them to retain certain stake in the oil block. But it was also not implemented fully until, of course, Yar'Adua passed on.
And then fell on Jonathan.
So Jonathan again sat on the agreement as started by President Obasanjo, and looked at all issues, and all parties shifted ground here and there. And Malabu now finally agreed to relinquish the oil block completely at this stage to Shell and ENI for full payment of the premium on the oil block, while the federal government retained its $210 million as signature bonus on the oil block. That was what happened. So
where did the deals, the alleged deals, where did they now happen?
Well, if you look at the prosecution,
the case filed by
the EFCC, for example, yes. With all due respect, you begin to wonder where, I mean, everything is about speculation, it's a bit speculative, it's a bit, I don't know, just the way as you will agree with me, the current war on corruption has been prosecuted in a manner that when it goes to court, it is most definitely.
What the EFCC is saying is that, yes, after this money has been paid, that it was more like a slush fund. Now the distribution or redistribution started, getting to senior government officials. Names have been mentioned.
And Muhammad Adoke was also mentioned. He's already in court. What is he doing in court?
First and foremost, Muhammad Adoke, as the Attorney General of the Federation, is in court to say, look, whatever we did was simply implementing an agreement that was entered into by the previous administration.
So as it is, Adoke and all the others who have been fingered, even though people will say it's a deal that sees this, that sees even the Dan Tete worked on the law. I mean, he was given, he didn't steal it. All right, we will take it up on some other time. We'll tell you that we'll be focusing on them, we're monitoring the cases in court. Majid Dahiru is our guest this morning. You can see that he has indeed did a lot of study on this. Thank you so much for the program. And that's much we can take on the program this morning. When we come back tomorrow, it will be a weekday when you go to work, and you also drop a line for us, political platform at yahoo.com. Okiri Agbonsore is my name.
Busted.